Arabia's Nadine Hawa finds out about the most common traps for companies relocating to the UAE.
Hello and thank you for being with us today. Tahir, who is rushing to set up in Dubai?
The whole world appears to be rushing to Dubai. The statistics from the Department of Economic Development show that 7,500 new companies were established in the last 6 months.
We know that one of the main advantages is the tax-free environment Dubai offers. What are the other advantages?
I think one of the things which overseas investors find particularly attractive about the UAE is that it's reckoned by most sort of business-savvy investors to be pro-business. It has a reputation for listening to foreign investors, trying to understand what they're looking for, what their interests are, and providing an environment and a legal framework that is supportive of that business culture.
I think geographical advantage certainly a very major advantage because UAE is just located so centrally. Also the fact that there is no restriction on repatriation of capital or profits.
Paul, how does the UAE compare in terms of bureaucracy and red tape compared to Europe?
You know, there was a World Bank survey report recently, Nadine, and it reviewed the ease of setting up business in all member countries of the World Bank, 175 countries, and the UAE is currently ranked 77th in that league table. That's way behind countries like the US, New Zealand, UK, Singapore, Hong Kong, and so forth. So there is room for improvement. The improvement is likely, I think, to be in areas like liberalisation of the country's labour laws and its companies' laws.
In terms of cost, the cost of setting up a business in Middle East or in Dubai in particular is high. It is high compared to setting up a company in US and setting up a company in Europe. However, the operating cost is 10 times less in Dubai than it is in other parts of the world. Having said that, the rents are going up, the cost of labor is going up, and we got to keep that in mind.
Tahir, you mentioned earlier that over 7,000 companies were set up in Dubai just in the first half of 2007. What is their chance of survival or a percentage of success?
There are no official figures, but from the in-house database at Dubai Business Help, we feel that perhaps up to 20% of the companies that are set up, they actually do not perform as a good business and the business closes down.
I would say that the most common mistakes tend to be commercial rather than anything which is particularly unique to the UAE. For example, selecting the wrong business partner can end up being a costly and time-consuming mistake to correct. Similarly, I think a number of overseas investors sometimes underestimate the amount of training which they may have to provide for locally recruited employees.
Here in Middle East, it is not about what you know, it is about who you know. And if you know the right people, you will, of course, benefit from their contacts. So very important to do your homework, find the right advisor, find the right contact, and be prepared for the appropriate expenses.
Thank you very much to both of you for joining us.
Thank you, Nadine.